Chapter 5 to 6. Title: Time to be God. Time skip. 6 months after birth. Amon POV. It's been 6 months of me living in this world. Currently, I'm crawling around the village, if this place can be even considered that, while looking around. Since that day, it's been 5 months, and I have already thought out everything I will do until Enel shows up. While crawling, it's hard for me not to be fascinated, because unlike one would expect a clear blue sky above my head, based on me being above the clouds, no sign of a blue sky can be seen. Instead, there are only clouds and more clouds. So, I'm most likely under the white water, or rather inside something like an igloo, because, even with anime knowledge, I'm not sure of my current location, since the Shandian's hideout was never revealed. But since that giant beanstalk named Giant Jack is visible from here with some trees in the far, this village must be very close to the upper yard. To be honest, this village still surprises me a lot since I don't come out of my small hut that much. Or in other words, since ISA doesn't bring me outside that much. Nonetheless, I've come here a few times this week by crawling on my own. But even though I've seen this place a few times already, it's still an unbelievable sight to behold. After all, there are people in tribe attire all around me. However, unlike their clothes, they are playing/training with many different kinds of modern machinery, which also doesn't go with the cheap houses of the village. Speaking of houses, it seems I'm considered quite rich here, because all the so-called houses around here are actually tents, yet mine is an all-out hut. Only Viper's house and the chief's house is a hut like mine. Ah, I suddenly feel rich. Now, it seems my father wasn't that incompetent after all. Anyway, unlike the poor-looking houses of the village, there are different kinds of weapons that I never saw in my previous world. Like the things called burn bazooka, flash gun, burn blade, and many other things that I don't even know the names of. There are those things called dials too. Overall, it's a quite surprising sight. Also, from all the information I have gathered in the last 5 months, I've confirmed that the chief is really the old man from before, while the leader of the Shandia warriors is that bastard named Viper. The bastard chief is very old, it seems. He might kick the bucket soon enough. I will be very sad if he dies. I want to kill him myself, after all. Also, I also met that guy. He is the son my sweet Uncle Viper was talking about. He is named Wiper. Well, now I'm sure of the timeline and also the reason why Wiper was an ass in the anime. It's all about genetics, huh? Obviously, I do know Wiper from the anime, but someone like Viper was never mentioned before. So, unless this is a messed up crossover world, he will die in the years to come. Or, in the most possible situation, he will die in Enel's hand when he arrives at the upper yard. I hope it's the latter. I will be very sad at my nice uncle's death. Anyway, like I said, today I came outside alone by crawling, and this is my 4th time coming out by myself. I learned how to crawl at the 3rd month of my birth, but I didn't show it to anyone. After all, I want the people of this tribe to take me as a genius, not a monster. Maybe I'm thinking too much, but it's better to be cautious than to regret it later. In the end, I don't want a situation similar to Big Mom to happen to me. Or worse, this tribe's people might just kill me while I'm off guard. Like right at this moment. Actually, I'm exaggerating things. The tribesmen are friendlier than I expected. So, I don't have to worry too much. They are such nice people. I will definitely treat them nicely in the future. They deserve it. Heh. Currently as I'm crawling, many people are looking at me while comparing me with Wiper. Wow, isn't that Amon? He rarely comes out. Yes, and he is crawling better than yesterday. How fascinating. Do you think he will be the next leader, or will it be Wiper? People were showing their fascination all around me. Though it isn't that rare to see a 6-month-old child crawl, it's still fascinating. After all, Wiper is also my age, yet he can't crawl. Pathetic. I don't think they will take me as a monster at this point either. Anyway, my daily routine is to crawl until I feel too tired to even move. Then I just lay down on the ground and anyone who sees me brings me to my house. How nice the tribesmen are. They are so easy to use. There is a reason I'm crawling this hard though, to go as far as to even torture my young body is the great warrior Calgera. Yes, the reason is really because of him. I heard a lot about him the past 6 months and even from anime too. Ancestry plays a pretty dope role in this world. Though that's not the only thing that matters to make a person strong. I'm not sure, but in a world where wills are passed here and there, something like that isn't impossible. DNA existed even in my world after all. Anyway, the point is, instead of being born as a normal Skypiean, I will definitely receive some benefits from being born as a descendant of Calgera, so pushing my body from a young age is a must. Sigh, I'm not a fishman who is 10x stronger than normal humans from birth. I don't even have any special perk like people from other tribes. Other than this useless wing. I don't have any special ability for being non-human. Also, what's up with these wings? It can't even be used to fly.
Damn it, I'm unlucky.
Unless I find a way, this will rather be my weak point in the future. To fill all these gaps, I need to do additional training in the future. And to make my body endure those torturous training, I need to adjust it from a young age. I will train like a madman. Because One Piece is one of those worlds where you can reach an unimaginable level of strength by just training alone. Kazuki Oden managed to fling his nurse at the age of 1. Compared to that, I have a long way to go. For now, crawl. 7.5 months after birth. Mac POV. Yawn. Releasing a yawn, I look at the ceiling. I just walked until I collapsed and am now resting in my room. I can also form words. Ignoring my weird sentence, I've started walking lately. The tribesmen were again surprised by my fast growth. But it seems Wiper has also started crawling around. People are taking this as a breathtaking battle between two rivals. But oh well, they are a bunch of stupid, illiterate son of bitches. How stupid can these people be? We are only 7 months old. Well, he can crawl to his death all he wants. I don't care about him. In the anime, Wiper had no competition to take the throne of the leader. But this time around, I'm here. I don't plan to give up the easy way towards power. I need to grow up one step at a time, and since the chance of being the leader of the Sandia people is knocking on my door, I will naturally choose this. And the situation is actually advancing. I'm already being seen as the winner among us rivals, or in other words, the future leader among a few older kids. This sounds so dumb, but they are kids after all. At least that's good. After all, even though they are kids, they are going to be the next ones to be the warriors. If they are thinking of me, a 7-month-old child, as their leader already, then it's a massive plus for me. I have already planned my future moves in this world. But for all of that to go according to my wishes, I need authority and power. The absolute power that I always dreamed of. It's not a fantasy anymore. I plan to become strong. Strong enough to maybe one day return? Or maybe achieve omnipotence. That's a part for later though. First of all, I need to take over this world to move to the next stage. From Enel's cover story, I know there are actual space pirates in this universe, so setting my goals to be the strongest man of the world is a big no. Because I'm sure there are races stronger than humans, or rather in my case, Skypieans. One day, what if they invade Earth? I will be fucked in front of their technology. They have high tech from what I remember from that cover story of Enel's moon journey. Becoming the strongest man on Earth may be a goal for the initial part, but in the greater scheme of things I need to become stronger than anyone ever was. Strong enough to hold my own against 4 emperors, 3 admirals, and that guy, Imu his name was. Yesh. For what I need to do things. For that, only training like a madman won't do. I don't know how, but I have to achieve all kinds of power. Physical strength. Magical devil fruit powers, political powers, human resources, and everything else possible. I have a dream. A dream to not be overshadowed by anyone else. Ever. I don't want to fall in that rabbit hole another time. I don't want to die either. For that though, working alone won't work. I can make a crew, but that outcome is also meh. After calculating my situation, the best possible answer is to make a place where strong people chosen by me will stay and work for me. They will do errands for me, keep doing them until I achieve what I want. Absoluteness, yes. That's what I want, and it is pretty far-fetched, but it's not impossible. If this planet can't give that to me, I will grow more and go to space. Enel did, why can't I? Then maybe I will take over a galaxy. If even that is not enough to make me absolute, I will take over the... Yes, until I achieve absoluteness, I will take everything from anyone. First thing first, I have targeted the tribe of Shandians. I will leech them off, then take what I want. It might seem I'm setting my goals too high, but a man is as big as his ambitions. If I don't set my goals high, I will fall deep into the rabbit hole. On my way to the absolute, my first goal is to be the king of the winged ones, or better, god of the winged. First of all, now I will take over Shandia, then the Skypieans, then Birkins. All of the winged race. I will create a country that will be strong enough to tackle the world government. I need to destroy that thing to properly move with my main part of the plan, to my way towards absolute. One day after I have everything, I will, Amon POV, 1 year after birth. Currently, I'm running on the village's road with my eyes closed. Yet, not only am I not falling on my face first, I can even tell the position of the people around me. More accurately, I can hear their voice. I feel things are moving a bit too fast, however. It seems my training is paying off. I've started sensing things all around me. It's hard to explain, but I can hear the voices of people around me. It's similar to what Ayase's daughter, Isa, stated in the anime. In simpler words, I can see even after closing my eyes. Oh, there it is. Some people are looking at me. Look, Amon is walking with closed eyes. Ah, this brings back memories. When I was a kid, I used to play like that. Haha, being a kid was nice, though I used to fall on my face a lot. I hope he doesn't fall though. People were talking about me, unknown that I can still see with my eyes closed. I can even discern their position with closed eyes. I'm not sure of the range yet, but I can feel 8 people looking towards me. Not only that, if someone is approaching me, I can also guess who it is. Yes, it's still low level, and I have to use words like, guess. Is this how observation hockey feels like? Well, if I say so myself, it's not that strange for me to have observation haki without any prior training at this age. After all, in the anime the winged race have always shown their gifts on observation haki, or what they like to call it, mantra. In the Skypiean arc, at the fight of the upper yard, not only Enel but also all of his priests were shown proficient at the so-called mantra. From what I recall, Enel and his priests are from the subrace called Birkins, one of the 3 subraces of winged people. But Shandians also have shown gifts on mantra. As the future daughter of Isa, the girl named Isa was able to use observation haki at the age of 9 years. She was supposedly able to use it from birth, though it might just be a rhetorical saying. Nonetheless, this can be enough proof that the winged people are somewhat more gifted in observation haki than normal humans or fishmen. Oh, so there are some perks of having these useless wings after all. Though I don't know if I also have talent in learning armament, it's still better than nothing. Now, instead of drowning in arrogance, I should train more. Even if I have talent in observation haki, it's not like I will get to see the future anytime soon. Actually, even when I start seeing the future, it's not like I'd stop. After all, if trained accordingly, perhaps I can upgrade observation haki to something like Mystic Eyes of Death Perception. First thing first, I have to take over Upper Yard, where the City of Gold is hidden. The city might have secrets as to why the winged people are so proficient at observation, and perhaps even ways to use these useless wings. 1.5 years after birth. Say, a gulp. It's been another 6 months of my life in this world. Currently, Isa is feeding me this terrible tasting soup, but I still have to eat it. I can eat by myself obviously, but Isa still feeds me. Anyway, I need a lot of nutrition for my growing body. And unfortunately, since the shitty tribe doesn't have enough rations to feed all the tribesmen, I won't be able to eat my fill later if I don't eat now. From what I have gathered, this village is located in the right eye of the upper yard. Here the ground we walk on isn't island cloud. Instead, it is just the average sea cloud. However, it works just like island cloud, meaning it's solid and people can walk over it. So we are literally walking over the sea surface. The reason are the magical dials. From what I've gathered, a few thousand special kinds of jet dials are set in every corner of the ground sea surface we are walking in. It is activated 24/7 and shoots out extreme pressured wind all the time, though the dials need to be exchanged with newer ones every month. Anyway, using that pressure, the different sides of the white sea under us are pushed towards the middle. Being pressured like that, the white sea, which is already denser and thicker than normal water, intimates something similar to the island clouds. That's mind-blowing. Just from this, I can guess how overpowered dials can be. Suddenly I feel something about to hit my head. I instantly move my hand and catch the spoon. Hey, quickly finish what's in your mouth. I'm waiting, the woman Isa shouted. She was about to hit me with the spoon. Well, let's eat this thing quickly. Thinking this, I quickly started to gulp the soup. From the manga/anime, I have a pretty generic idea of what dials are, but I'm sure there are a lot more than what the anime has shown. Unfortunately, I'm still a baby, or I'd have already started researching them. There is also that iconic giant beanstalk named Giant Jack. It's surely very big, since even though it is located in the middle of Upper Yard, and its right eye is far from the middle, it's still visible from this village. Maybe in the future I should create a palace at the top just like Enug. I'm getting distracted again. Anyway, the village's location is hidden from outside eyes since it's covered by actual solid island cloud from all sides, from the top too. Also, besides the giant beanstalks, only a few other trees are inside this cloud covering us. However, every tree is covered by clouds till their trunk, so nobody can get their hands on Verth unless they directly visit Upper Yard. So in this place where we don't have many sources for food, except those few trees which doesn't have fruits growing most of the time, our only source of vegetables and fruits are the ones in the actual Upper Yard, where it's hard to hunt because of God's militia. Then the only other way besides that is from the raids that the raiders perform on pirate ships. However, the food they can retrieve isn't enough for us. According to what I counted, there are around 120 or so people in this tribe. Although the number is short, the food still isn't enough for them us. Sigh, why do I have to suffer with this useless bunch? Every month, Viper and his team, the current generation of raiders, go to the Upper Yard to steal supplies and also to try and take back the Upper Yard. But they fail always. They have been fighting for 380 years, it seems. They are fighting this war to take back their land and protect the Poneglyph. What a stupid bunch of people. I remember from the anime that the current god of the Upper Yard wants to solve everything without resolving to violence. But these bunch of brawls won't listen. Just how much of an idiot can the try? Suddenly, with my sharpened senses, I hear some quick and loud footsteps coming towards this room. I try to see who it is, but even though I tried, I can't discern their identity. Since at the current level, I can only discern the identity of the ones I've spent a specific amount of time with. I can only see it's a male, and that's all. Cut. The door opened loudly and a guy with a chunky figure came to my view. He has a fat but weak body, so he's probably a civilian.
Isa.
Come quickly. The chief is on his dying bed. Oh, the fat idiot brought good news. But I wanted to kill that old bastard myself. Damn it, nothing is going according to me. Sigh. Ha! I'm coming. Saying this, Isa ran off with that guy. She dropped the bowl on the floor too. It seems I won't be able to eat all of my food this time. Sigh, big sad. 1 year later / 2.5 years after birth. Dodge this if you can, Wiper said and punched towards me. The punch was slow. Very slow. I just take a sidestep to dodge that. Wiper lost his composure for a second, and taking the chance, I set the target at his abdomen and he knees him in the gut. Gua! He puked saliva and fell on his back. This kid is weak, but I don't know shit about fighting. So it's better for me to learn how to fight by beating these kids. Wait, I'm a kid too. Anyway, I've plans for Wiper, so time to act bad so that he hates me. Thinking this, I look at Wiper on the floor with a mocking face. Wiper, are you getting weaker every day? Or am I getting stronger? Seeing my mocking smile, he spat on the gourd. Asterisk spit asterisk. Next time I'll win. He grunted and ran away. Well, let's just ignore him. Anyway, last year the chief died. Ugh, I can't believe it. I felt so frustrated for the first few days after his death. I wanted to kill him myself. Yet that old piece of garbage died by himself. A peaceful death. Why? Why did he get a peaceful death? Is some ROB playing with me? Fuck this shit. Sigh. Let's not lose my cool. Anyway, now I'm around 2 years and 6 months old, and I possess the strength to beat teenagers striving to become warriors, so beating kids like Wiper is easy. But to be honest, defeating the teenagers is a bit tough. Still, that's good progress. After all, these teenagers aren't like normal One Piece human teens, they are a lot stronger. Now, let's talk about Enel. Actually, unlike how I used to think at first, after contemplating for a long time, and living in this world among these people for more than 2 years, I don't think that guy with God complex would be that hard to deal with. Even though his powers are terrific, he is a dumbass. A dumbass smarter than most. At worst, if I fail to attain the fruit before him, I would need some allies who will take Enel's lightning spams for me. I'm sure many good-willed people would be happy enough to take them and die for me. This is a world full of idiots, after all. Anyway, calculating by canon, unless I can get the fruit first, there is around 14 years left until Enel will arrive on my Sky Island. Until then, I will be more than strong enough to take him down.